Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eastwood for Life fan, and this is movie pickups update for the month of September 2020. And before we get to the DVDs, the Blu-rays and the 4K movie titles that I picked up in September, I always like to start off a update with a shout out to a fellow movie collecting YouTuber, and he's from the UK, the northern part, and the channel name is Real Classic Film Reviews, and he's known as Stephen. And what I like about Stephen's channel is that he reviews a lot of the old school and classic movies, and he also does unboxings of special editions that he picks up in his collection, but always talks with a lot of passionate and informative knowledge about these old school movies. So he definitely deserves more subs to his channel, so I would leave the channel link in the description box down below. Go over there and sub to the man and say that Eastwood for Life fan recommended the channel. So on to the DVDs, and only picked up 2 DVDs, and just before my Chuck Norris movie collection video, I did pick this one up in my local CX store, Forest Warrior, and I'd never seen it before. I did know it was going to be a pretty poor one. A movie that went straight to DVD, to video I should say, directed by Aaron Norris, Chuck Norris's brother. Pretty absurd and silly fantasy and family and an adventure movie. Not one that Chuck Norris is going to be remembered for. So don't go into this movie expecting it's going to be vintage Chuck Norris action movie, but one I'd rather forget in Forest Warrior, a 1996 movie. And the next one's a Wild East's latest spaghetti western double feature. It's a Steve and Ted double feature, and it has 2 movies. The Beast with Klaus Kinski. Good to finally get this a release. Did have the bootleg for many years. The Beast, 1970s spaghetti western, where Klaus Kinski, he plays a sex crazed a rapist who preys on young women. Always plays a great villain, Klaus Kinski, German guy. And the other movie, Thou Shall Not Kill, a spaghetti western that I don't think I have seen, but this is the latest release, volume 64. Just wish that Wild East would release a lot more spaghetti westerns. They tend to release just the 1 or 2 per year. On to the Blu-rays now, and these next 3 are Kino Lorber American Westerns. Picked up Bend of the River, starring James Stewart. Also in this one you get Arthur Kennedy and Rock Hudson. American Western, directed by Anthony Mann, early 1950s. This one's 1952. And Anthony Mann and James Stewart, they did make 8 westerns, 8 movies I should say, together. 6 of them were westerns, and this one I have seen but not for a very long time. Bend of the River, based on a novel. And the second one is Night Passage, starring James Stewart, 1957 American Western, where James Stewart, he plays a former railway worker, where his boss hires him, his ex-boss I should say, hires him to deliver the payroll for the fellow railroad workers, as the money's been robbed several times on train. So pretty good one, this one, Night Passage. Not his greatest American Western, but always like seeing James Stewart in American Westerns. And the last one is The Rare Breed, James Stewart And then this one also starring Maureen O'Hara. This one's 1966. Maureen O'Hara's character and her daughter, they make their way to the US where her husband dies, and she's in possession of a kind of like a rare breed of cattle, and it's like it's the dream of her dead husbands to live the American way of life. And she hires James Stewart, a cowboy, to transport the rare breed of cattle to its new owner. And then he overcomes, obviously, a long journey, and there's many dangerous obstacles. The rare breed, 1966. I always tend to find that a lot of the James Stewart movies, the actual later ones, are more edgier and more violent. The rare breed. Next one's a Martin Scorsese classic, Mean Streets, starring Robert De Niro and Harvey Keitel. Got to be honest, the first time I'd watched this movie many years ago, was kind of disappointed. Obviously, seen the more sort of gangster movies in the 80s and 90s first, but revisited this one early this year on Netflix and enjoyed this a whole lot better. It's a more lower budget gangster movie, more darker, kind of grimy gangster movie in a small neighborhood in New York in Little Italy. And Harvey Keitel, he kind of looks out for Robert De Niro's character, Johnny Boy. But a good one, but not one of Scorsese's greatest gangster movies, but definitely one for the collection, Mean Streets. Finally picked up this special edition from Arrow Video, the White Window release of George A. Romero's classic Day of the Dead, mid-80s zombie movie, which this one, it's set in a underground bunker, and scientists are kind of doing experiments on zombies. I do remember watching this back in the VHS days, and this great edition, you kind of get like a comic book. There's a picture of Bub. And I remember watching this one, kind of hoping for Bub, who kind of gets the fun poked out of him, that he gets to attack some of the scientists, or the ones who are kind of doing experiments on him. Classic zombie movie, not as good as Dawn of the Dead, which I am really looking forward to the second sight release. And you do get the poster, which is that, and this one's a 2-disc set. And these editions are pretty expensive to pick up. These collector's editions from Arrow Video. So yeah, finally picked up the Day of the Dead on Blu-ray, collector's edition. Finally picked up my last HMV 2 for 20 movie, which I ordered 10 titles, and this one took literally near 2 months to finally pick up Gremlins 2, the new batch. Love the original with Joe Dante. This one, the sequel, I didn't really enjoy when I watched it at the cinema, not near as good as the original, and this one's set in New York City where the Gremlins take over. So I finally got both movies now in the collection. Been picking up a few Tom Hanks movies here and there. This one from the novel of Stephen King. Tom Hanks plays a prison warden. kind of like a death row prison warden, and he witnesses an inmate who has a special gift, who is waiting for the death chair, and he's on for killing 2 young girls. Very good movie, this one. I can't actually remember much about this one, but I know I have seen this one. It's a classic and 2-disc set. You do get the extended cut. I do remember it being a very long movie, The Green Mile. Another Tom Hanks classic. Been upgrading a few seasons of my Dexter collection, and actually I've seen the first 2 seasons revisited again. Absolutely love this series. Dexter, played by Michael C. Hall, who's a blood splatter analyst who works for the Miami Metro Police Department. And at night he kind of plays like a vigilante, and he takes out the criminals who get away from the system, and kind of like a vigilante serial killer. Bit of a black comedy series, but quite graphic at times. So yeah, this is season 2, which I finished watching the other week. And with that, I picked up the 5th season of Dexter. Did go on for 8 seasons. And finally picked up the 6th season from my Poundland store for a bargain price of £2. And this one, I think he gets a little bit more religious. First 6 seasons are great, really edge of the seat stuff, but the last 2 not so good in my opinion. It kind of maybe went on a season or 2 too far, but a great TV series in Dexter. Finally picked up Richard Jewell, and for some strange reason there's no Blu-ray release of this in the UK, so this is a Canadian release. Movie directed by Clint Eastwood, based on a true story on a real life event about a security guard who discovers a bomb plot during the 1996 Atlanta Olympic Games. Yet to see this movie. This one stars Kathy Bates. Also picked up a few Jean-Claude Van Damme movies on a trip to London. And this one's AWOL, also known as Lionheart, featuring the muscles from Brussels, Jean-Claude Van Damme, who next weekend will turn 60 years old, would you believe? Also picked up this mid-90s movie, Sudden Death. This one also stars Powers Booth, directed by Peter Hyams, and Peter Hyams also did Time Cop with Jean-Claude Van Damme, which is one of his better movies. This one's an average action movie, this one. On to the 4K titles I picked up Universal Soldier, which was a big hit for Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. From the director of Independence Day. I did go to make a couple of sequels and also a TV series of Universal Soldier, but I got this one in a good 4K deal. Still some more 4K deals I picked up Boys in the Hood, directed by John Singleton, starring Ice Cube, Cuba Gooding Jr. and Lawrence Fishburne, or Larry Fishburne as it says here. Classic street urban movie, this one, with a great hip hop soundtrack. put Ice Cube on the map for future movies. And they upgrade this one, 3:10 to Yuma, starring Russell Crowe and Christian Bale, and this is the remake. The original was from the 50s, Delmer Daves American Western starring Glenn Ford, but this one's a pretty good remake for a modern day Western, 3:10 to Yuma. And the next release, I could not wait to finally pick this up on 4K. Stanley Kubrick's classic Full Metal Jacket. I didn't go with the collector's 4K edition because the slip box and the Amaray cover were exactly the same. So I went for the steelbook. Great war movie, this one. And we'll take off the sleeve. So I've just taken off this tricky thin J card. So this is the back with the Born to Kill logo. 1987 classic Vietnam movie, this one. And this is the artwork on the back of the steelbook. And there is the front. A British and American production, this one. There is the two discs, and I know what you're saying. If you did pick up the steelbook, that your one didn't have a booklet. Actually, the booklet was from the HMV Premium Edition, which I kept and just added. A great war movie. Loved the drill instructor, who actually was a real drill instructor, played by R. Lee Ermey, and he recently passed away. Great performance. And also Matthew Modine is in this movie. Also Adam Baldwin. Great scenes in this movie in Full Metal Jacket. And also they did have a good soundtrack. I do remember the I Want to Be Your Drill Instructor track that actually was went in the top 10 in the UK. So that is your Full Metal Jacket steelbook. One of the great war movies that they made in the 80s. All we need now is a 4K release of Platoon. There he is, R. Lee Ermey. So what do we have here? We have a jelly donut. Love that scene. Also picked up the Titans of Colt Goodfellas limited edition in 4K. Classic gangster movie with Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta and Joe Pesci. Remembered watching this in the cinema and laughed all the way through watching this one. Best mob movie ever. Debatable. I'd probably say The Godfather. Probably you could throw in Scarface in there and other movies like Donnie Brasco. But this one has the steelbook, which I'll show. A few goodies you get. You get this little item and also a Goodfellas kind of like a meat and sauce and meatball recipe based on a true story about Henry Hill. This is the steelbook, simple but still effective. I'm looking forward to checking this classic out in 4K. There's your 3 discs. Ray Liotta and Robert De Niro, who plays Jimmy. Certainly made Joe Pesci and Ray Liotta more bigger stars. And there's Joe Pesci, and there was the mob boss. Fine release, but could have done with a booklet. I'm a fan of informative booklets. So there is your Titans of Colt limited edition steelbook release. So there you have it, the Goodfellas release with the pin, the meatballs and sauce recipe, as well as the steelbook. And the last 4K title was this war movie, Fury, modern day war movie, World War II movie starring Brad Pitt. Upgrade for me. Did recently watch this one a few months back on Blu-ray, and really enjoyed this war movie and the tank battle scenes as they progress to Germany with this tank crew. Really looking forward to the battle scenes and watching this movie in 4K. So that is all the movie pickups for the month of September 2020. Hope all you guys are healthy and well out there in these awkward times, and as always, stay entertained and keep on collecting. Till the next video, take care guys.